Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an exercise for those of you who are religious in some aspect, whether it's Catholic, Christian, Buddhist, energy healer, whatever. It doesn't matter. Read all of your different texts and replace the word energy and God and also spirituality. Replace it with hormones. Okay? Because I'm trying to now introduce my thought process based upon my thesis around what creates life. And it's energy, it's hormones. And then we have conversations around it, different stories, like in the Bible, the different energy healers, whether it's a Catholic or Christian or Jehovah's Witness, it doesn't matter which. You need to now replace the word God, spirituality, and energy, okay, and replace it with hormones. And so when I actually did that, okay, so it doesn't matter what text. So here we go. I'm going to read this. This is about Mary. Throughout the Old Covenant, the mission of many holy women prepared for that of Mary. At the very beginning, there was Eve. Despite her disobedience, she received the promise of a posterity that will be victorious over the evil one, as well as a promise that she will be the mother of all the living. But, okay, so that's Eve. Okay, so then, against all human expectation, God, hormones, chose those who were considered powerless and weak to show forth his faithfulness to his promises. Okay, so whenever you see the word God or energy, and then you see like, okay, replace it with hormones, because hormones is the one that creates the life. It's reproduction, you guys. Energy is reproduction. It's hormones. Okay, it creates the energy and it's hormones. Now, reproduction is based upon a crazy hormonal imbalance, and that is what's causing reproduction. But here we go. Let's look at this. Let me see if I find anything that. The Father's only Son, conceived as man in the womb of the Virgin Mary, is Christ. That is to say, anointed by the Holy Spirit or hormones. From the beginning of his human existence through the manifestation of this fact takes place only progressively to the shepherds, to the Magi, to the John the Baptist, to the disciples. Thus, the whole life of Jesus Christ will make manifest of how hormones anointed Jesus of Nazareth with hormones and with the power. So hormones beget hormones, and they play with each other to create a specific outcome. And then go look at all the different energy texts that are out there. Okay, talk about energy and talk about spirituality. It's all hormones. When you're playing with your chakras, with the different crystals and organite, you're messing with your hormones. When you read the Bible and you see God and spirituality and you see the Holy Spirit or whatever that would elicit God, because this is what Sally had trouble with. Sally was asking me if I was denying the existence of God. And I'm saying hormones are God / energy / spirituality. That's what hormones are. It's the energy in the universe. How it manifests is based upon the intention. And then also there's an outcome. So yeah, this is an exercise for you guys to understand the human body and humanity and mankind through science. And then you see how science is being explained through the different biblical texts. Why is it that in the Catholic Church you have Mary, Mother of God? How did you get Immaculate Conception out of the Catholic Church? There was a weakness. And you know, the Catholic Church and the Vatican and Rome, they all play with pathogens. This is where a lot of our medications and the experiments and the plague came from Europe. The plague didn't come from the Indians. We actually decimated the Indians. Not we, but you know, Europe did. They were playing with pathogens. They were playing with hormones. They were creating all types of chaos and diversity. And the Catholic Church is believing in fertility as well as the death trajectory. Well, fertility is part of the death trajectory. So it wouldn't surprise me that somehow Mary was able to bear Jesus, which then created all these different religions that are trying to explain the human biological process. This is what blows my mind. So anybody ask me, am I denying the existence of God? No, I'm not denying the existence, because God is a hormone. People are trying to explain the different manifestations in other people, in nature, in themselves, and then somebody will have a great story and people are going to find all the evidence because they know that humans are universally the same. So evidence is all over the place. And then they chalk it up to like, oh yeah, God did this, God did that. My hormones did this, my hormones did that. Hormones, energy, whatever, how the hormones are being manipulated, how God manipulates outcomes. Well, it's not God manipulating, it's the hormones. It's either your hormones or somebody else's hormones that created a specific situation. How you counter those actions will be based upon if you survive on this earth or not. When you leave it up to like God, like it's out of your hands, you're leaving it up to your hormones, and then you're walking through life blind, like you have no power over your own hormones. That's why I never understood about the different religions, that you're leaving everything up to God. Where's your power? You have power over your hormones, and that's based upon knowledge of what creates life and what causes death. So that's huge. And yes, this is going to, yes, obviously challenge a lot of folks who have a major belief system when it comes to the Bible. But you know, they've created words, okay? So there's a universal manifestation, and it's the different hormones in your body, the life in your body. And then they create different words based upon a story and an intention. And then there's also a control factor. So when you're using specific words to explain specific actions, and they say that it's punishment, well, yeah, when you violate the laws of your immune system and by the laws of your body, you get punished. So when somebody dies, somebody says, oh yeah, that's God punishing you. Oh no, that's the hormones punishing you for violating the laws. That is the typical outcome of violating the laws of the body, to where death is a consequence. Do you see what I'm saying? And so you can translate that into the energy healing world. Oh yeah, when you violate the laws of your hormones and you're making one hormone more dominant than the other, it's going to cause a death process. And then you can say, oh yeah, it's the bad energy that did it. And you will absolve yourself from the responsibility that you actually had control of your hormones, but you didn't know it. So you allowed one hormone to be more dominant than the other, or somebody else's hormones you allowed in your life because you have no boundaries. And this is what causes then this end result of then death or a mutation. It's a consequence. Okay? So yeah, and I never understood the religion. I'm like, what is it about this? I've never found any evidence of a higher power than me, because I've always been the one to be able to kind of direct my life. But then yes, I do become, when I didn't have boundaries and I would allow certain people in my life that weren't good, yeah, I would get then punished for it. So someone could say, hey, that's God punishing you, or that's, Satan punishing you, or somebody punishing you. But yeah, because when you violate a law and the result is death or a mutation, that's a punishment. That's a consequence. Because you violate, just like when you go to jail. When you go to jail, it's because you violated the law somewhere. When you're driving 50 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone and there's a cop there waiting for you, guess what? That's no different than contracting the disease because you violated the laws of your body. You now have a consequence. God punished you, or your hormones punished you. So we are definitely peeling back the layers. Definitely peeling back the layers. So I can see why the religious types in the beginning really gravitated towards me, because they knew I was speaking in their language, but they were speaking in a different verbiage, a different vocabulary, but we're speaking the same thing. It's just a different word for the same stuff. No different than the energy healers out there. When you have death as the end result, that is a consequence of somebody violating the laws. Okay, and you're right, Krista. Everything, that's what I'm saying. This is how we unite humanity. All the different religions, all the different everything, which is crazy. I didn't even put my headphones on. But all the different everything completely now makes sense of the division. And that's how you then maintain crazy control, is the divide and conquer. Until you can understand that there are different words for the same stuff, and this is what causes division, then you'll stay stuck in your narrow point of view. And so that's why I'm saying, when you still adopt activism, you are still buying into the narrow tunnel vision of the division in our world. You're not willing to look deeper than just your political platform. And this is huge. So this is the exercise, Bobby Lynn. So let me reiterate. When you read the Bible or anything with the energy book, or you're talking about chakras, just replace everything that represents some higher power, okay, whatever it is, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Allah, whether it's Moses, whether it's Jesus, whether it's God, whether it's the Holy Trinity, whatever it is, whatever higher power you believe in, replace it with hormones. And then you see how it translates in their interpretation of reproduction. Yes, and astrology as well. Yes, thank you, Norland. Yes, you're absolutely right. Astrology in the Asian as well as in the Western. Astrological signs and the stars and the moon and all that have to do with hormones. Yes. It's pretty crazy. Okay? All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.